more about the bench. So we saw extended minutes, bench minutes last night. So I guess the question is for you guys, outside of Niang, who do you think has secured playoff minutes, and who do you think kind of improved their chances of being a part of that playoff rotation after last night's game?
I don't think anyone solidified it. I just think that guys performed and did their job. I still think that Doc will go in with a firm or hard 8 players, and that 9 and 10 are going to be situational players that have to be ready to contribute if their name is called. It was good to see Ferk and Shake come in and play well and make shots, because as the series goes on, you plan a team, over and over again, you will need those guys to come in and give us a burst and make some shots like that. That will be needed. So it was good to see them come and make that happen when they knew the minutes were coming. But in the playoffs, it's going to be the inconsistency of when guys are playing and staying, in their minutes are going, how consistent their minutes are going to be. Most reserves, it's hard to know when you're going to play, especially in the playoffs. That's, your minutes decrease more than anything. So I think it's hard to say it's going to be one particular player over another. I just think that, it could be Ferk one day. It could be, Shake another. But I do think that those guys have done enough this season and proved it versus Miami that they're capable and ready when they get the chance.
Yeah, Tatum, what stood out to you? I know for weeks you've been saying, Ferk's going to come out of this. So I would say for months, really.
I've been hoping for that. Yeah, it looked good. I mean, it's just a tale of 2 Ferks, I guess, because, outside of Niang, our bench had 46 last night in general. So that was the most we've had in so long. And the previous 3 games, we had a total of 50. So that just puts into perspective how different it was last night. If you take Niang's points away in our past 5 games, we've had a total of 30 points, which is 6 points a game. So compare that to the 46 we had, just night and day. Ferk looked great, but he's been bad. There's a reason why he was in the doghouse. I was looking back at his stats, and he's only had 5 games with 2 or more threes since January 14th. And in 59 games total he's played, he's been 0 in 20 of them from 3. And he takes 4 games. So that puts into perspective that 1 out of every 3 games, he doesn't make a 3 out of 4 attempts. And that's rough. And the year he's shooting 29%, which is, unfortunately, it's Westbrookville. So I hopefully he just pulls out of it. And ironically, we're playing them. So it's nice to see him bust out of it. Same with Shake. I mean, that's his second double-digit scoring game since he came back from injury in early February. So he's starting to find his groove too. But again, like we talked about like Eric said last week about Tobias, they need touches. So Ferk had 1 minute the other night. So you can't get 1 minute and expect to do anything with that, right? Like he just gets a sweat and then he leaves. So yeah, it's really nice to see them all doing that. We are going to need a primary ball handler off the bench in the playoffs. If I had to make a pick, I'd say obviously Niang solidified. I'd say Danny Green for the kind of the middle between Thibel's defense and almost not what Curry gave us shooting, but he can give you 2 threes a game and some defense. I'd say Shake is the ball handling. And then lastly, I'd say it's a toss-up between Millsap and DeAndre, depending on who you're playing. If it's a bigger center, I'd say put DeAndre in. If it's more of like a Bam, like a 6'9", 6'10" small ball type guy, I think Millsap did a pretty good job against him last night. I mean, you're not going to stop him, but, for Millsap.
I consider Danny to be one of the part of the hard 8.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think they're solidified. After that, it kind of gets a little shaky. You're going to have to play the streaks. And if Ferk's looking good, let him get it out, man. Like last night, I'm sure Doc was like, this is a Ferk night. Just go, just play. Which is why probably Tobias was like, you know what? You guys are nailing all your shots. Go ahead. I mean, like, just I'll take it off. This will be my rest day because Tobias doesn't really rest a lot.
About winning the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, if we lost and Tobias only had 14 points, you'd be like, what the hell is going on? But, all is well when you win. So it all looks good.
Well, I mean, the flow of the game would have dictated that. If they needed more from him, and he didn't do it, then the situation, then that would call for it. But if other guys are going and you lose in kind of in the manner where you kind of give it away in the end, then yeah, I can see it. But
Especially with Maxey, man. Maxey looks like a guy you might have the ball very well, have the ball at the end of the games from now on. I'm not.
I spoke about that before when I was like, you got to get someone else to be a primary ball handler and not James every single time. I think that we got to, if Maxey gets a rebound, then he should be able to push, and James has to run. I mean, the one thing I've seen in my experiences, and I was just as guilty of it, is when primary ball handlers don't have the ball, they're not very good at running the court.
Yeah,
I think James, sometimes you get up the court, and I think about Allen Iverson when I played with him. Some of his best plays were in transition because he got up the court and he would push the ball and attack before the defense is set. So that's what, if you think about Maxey and how he's gotten a lot of his points, he's like up the court.
Yeah, he's running.
So I think if you can get James and Joe and those guys running up the court, getting set and attacking before that defense is set, that's another way as far as Tobias could get some touches. If he gets up there and get an early post and you throw it before the defense is set, it's just different ways to attack. But that takes effort. You got to run. You got to get up the court.
Yep. I was actually looking at Doc's playoff minutes last year. It looked like he has 3 guys off the bench. His first 3 off the bench play in the 15 to 20 range. And then like 2 guys play in like the 10 to 15 range. So yeah, I think the hard 8's where you want to go with that. I think you're looking at Danny right now, Niang, Danny, and probably Shake, I'd say, just because he can ball hand off the bench, and we don't really have that besides him.
Yeah, I mean, it's 8-9 because DeAndre Jordan could be a part of that, but you just don't know.
Play all the time.
The 8-9 guy could be a flip flop based on who you're playing.
Yep.
I gotta say though, since Harden's come on, it's talking about, there's been so much off the court stuff saying, oh, he's not a good leader, he's not good. I mean, based on the way Maxey's been playing since Harden's come over, whether he was on the court or not, I feel like a lot of Harden's influence is kind of like showing for Maxey on the court. I mean, last night that step back 3 he had on the right shoulder, I mean, that looked like a James Harden move, and like he wasn't pulling the trigger like that before. I mean, he was pulling the trigger, but like, I guess now with this kind of confidence, it doesn't seem like he was as confident now. I mean, that he is now from the beginning of the season. Have you kind of noticed that, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, his confidence. I think his confidence was high. I think now, he's put that. Experience is the best teacher. So he gets the confidence, and now all of a sudden you got that experience to go out and play. But I think guys have accepted him, and he's taken the challenge to come out and compete and get better. But that experience, like I said, that's the best teacher, man. You're going through different situations and you're feeling good. So I think that he's done that. He stayed aggressive and he's playing well. You just got to give him credit. I think that he's adapted to other guys being there, especially James being there, but he's still in attack mode and he's still trying to compete and he's playing hard and it's showing because he's competing on both ends of the court.
I think Maxey and Niang have probably been the biggest benefits of Harden being there. I think Embiid has just been dominant all year. I don't think nothing's changed that much for him. I think Embiid's shots have come a lot easier for him, but he's just been dominant in general. But I think Maxey and Niang, their games have just gone up a whole other level.
We got that green light now.
Oh yeah. All Niang needs that half second. He's just waiting just to shoot the ball. His hand's already in place. I love it. It's like me playing 2K back in the day.
Quick square.
Oh man.